Hey guys, just a reminder, this is not official medical advice. For such, please seek an appointment with a licensed medical provider.
Hi, this is Dr. Tom Rogers coming to you with a weekly podcast of the Common Sense MD. Today we're going to talk about something very interesting. I have a special guest, Cody Warren. Thank you for being here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Cody is an expert in water purification, one of the things that we need to talk about more. I recently moved into a new old house, and it's very interesting that the water in here, because my main house is on city water, but the rest of the little things I have on this property, there's a cabin, greenhouses, summer kitchen, are on well water. So I really can't wait to have you test the city water, my kitchen water, which is, I have a little reverse osmosis thing, then the well water.
Okay.
And compare them and look at them all, because I think it's so important. I will tell you that when I drink tap water, it's awful compared to, I spit it out.
Yes, sir. The chlorine taste, it's a horrible thing to deal with, for sure.
Tell me, Cody, how you got into this business. What got you interested in
So it was
water?
kind of a funny thing how it all worked out. I started off by selling some plumbing supply. I was working at wholesale supply in Abingdon. My boss come in. He was a customer of ours, and we actually shut that branch down. And he offered me a job, and the rest is history. Been with him 4 years now. So.
And how did you learn about all this stuff, all the different parts per million? What kind of training did you undergo to learn all the stuff that you have to know? Because you have a huge territory.
Yes, sir. So it's pretty much all hands on deck, get in there, learn what you can. Luckily, my boss has been doing this roughly 40 years now, so we had a lot of experience to lean on. But the more we've been doing it, the more you learn. Every day you learn something new, for sure.
What surprised you the most when you started testing people's waters?
Sure. I think most of the things that got me was how many people are still on a well. You don't realize in today's time how many people are still dealing with the well water, still dealing with the issues, the sediment, discoloration and odor. And then obviously bacteria is a big thing we're dealing with, especially with all these houses that's being sold.
So a lot of people are on well water. And in general, how clean is well water?
Well, it depends on what you're calling clean. It depends on every well's different. You're dealing with some calcium in there, of course. Obviously, you got your bacteria you're having to look for. Iron is a whole nother animal, and then sulfur's a problem as well. So we just kind of get in there, dive in, test the water, see what we're working with, and then see what we're looking for. But
I remember when I was a kid, we drank water out of a hose. I mean,
Yes,
we
sir.
didn't even think about it then.
Absolutely.
Now there's no way I would do that.
Ignorance is bliss. That's for sure.
Do you think the water back then was cleaner than it is now?
I can't say cleaner. No, I can't speak on that for sure. I do know that, and until the recent years with the internet, giving a lot of this new information out, there's so much stuff that they're learning now that you just didn't know before. Finding out about what's in your water, what to look for in your water, all that wasn't really there. It wasn't as apparent as it is now, I believe.
And there's probably worse chemicals out now than back in the 60s, I would assume.
Absolutely, I'm sure.
Seems like there would be. So when you're looking at a water purification system, number one, should everybody get their water tested? Do they have a right to ask their city for a readout of what's in their water?
Absolutely, yes, sir. I like for everybody to test their water, whether you're on a public supply or on a well. A lot of times people have the misconception public water is, what we want. It's clean, clear, safe water, which is great, but it also has its downfalls as well, and we have everything that you need to take care of that as well.
Mm-hmm. I know there's a big controversy about a lot of states and cities are taking fluoride out of the water now.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you use a reverse osmosis system, that takes the fluoride out?
Yes, sir. That's
right?
the only thing we offer that takes out the fluoride.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Which personally I think is probably a good thing.
I agree. I
know it's controversial.
It is.
Especially when you talk to dentists, and I've had them on here talking about fluoride. But I think it definitely helps prevent cavities, maybe cuts it down by 30%, but I'm not sure why you want it in your whole system. Maybe on your teeth, I'm okay with it.
There's definitely a purpose for it, but generally speaking, you're cooking, you're drinking it, you don't really need to be having fluoride in that for those reasons.
Agree. What other bad things should we look for in water when you test for it?
Usually if you're dealing with a well, we're dealing with E. coli, coliform bacteria. Generally, that's what we're looking for mainly. Iron has its own problems. You got a lot of stains, got a lot of odor. Sulfur has a lot of odor. With public water, you were talking about the taste of chlorine. It's got a foul taste and different smell as well. So we deal with that with carbon filters. The calcium buildup is a big thing. Hard water is everywhere. Public water, well water. We're always dealing with some hardness in there. So
now, why is hard water so bad?
generally, it's hurting your plumbing. It's going to really affect your water heaters. It's going to affect your skin. A lot of people have skin issues. Not sure. You may be able to answer this more than I can. A lot of people claim that more calcium in the water has more effect on kidney stones. Not sure about that. I've heard that. See that across the board with a lot of customers. They have that, that idea anyway.
I do have a lot of patients that talk to me about their water, and once they get a purification system and they take a shower in it, they don't have eczema anymore.
Yes,
some
sir.
of the itchiness and some of the things they do. So everybody should have their water checked.
Absolutely.
And if they can't get a decent readout from the city, they call you.
Absolutely. Have us come out. I'll come out, do what I'm going to do for you today, check your water, get you an idea. We send all of our bacteria samples off to a lab. Actually, it's called Blue Ridge Analytical. They're in Whitfield, Virginia. They're a really highly accredited lab. We do all of our major testing through them.
Are people surprised when they get the results back sometimes?
Absolutely. Generally, they are. A lot of people say, my grandpa's drunk this water since, back in the day, and he's drunk it for years, never had any issues. And then grandpa gets a little older, his immune system's compromised, the bacteria starts to giving him some trouble. So
Yeah, interesting. Kidney stones are certainly, we're in the kidney stone belt here in the South.
yes, sir.
And maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure. But so, all right, you get your water checked. You need a water purification system, which I think everybody needs. Mine is unfortunately just in my kitchen, so
Yes,
that's
sir.
where I get my water from to drink, feed my dogs that kind of water,
Absolutely.
cook with that kind of water, make my coffee with that kind of water. And then I also put it in a pitcher in my refrigerator through a clearly filtered, not Brita. I use clearly filtered, which I think's from what I've read, it's better. But so once you get your samples back, what kind of things do you recommend? I know reverse osmosis is what I have
Yes, sir.
in my kitchen. Talk a little bit about the different types of water purification
So,
systems.
we do a lot of the water softeners, taking out all your calcium and such. That's going to benefit your house along with you and your family. Your skin, all those problems. A lot of that issues is taken care of and resolved with that water softener. We offer the whole house carbon filter. We take out all of your chlorine and a lot of organics. Makes the water taste a lot better. Takes out any odor you have. That description of the chlorine in your water that you were talking about, the odor, the taste that you don't like, that carbon whole house can take every bit of that out for you.
Do you think it's more practical or better just to go ahead and put the filters on and the softeners for your whole house rather than just your drinking water like in your kitchen? Or
I do. You hear, I've heard this quite often. If you don't have a filter, your body is the filter. And I believe that. We're still absorbing a lot of these chemicals and different things that's in our water through our skin. So I like to have it for the whole house as well.
That's a great point because, as you know, your skin is your biggest organ in your body. And we use medications through creams and emollients and everything to get medicines in through the skin.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't your water matter as well?
Absolutely. It's very important. I think people kind of take it for granted. They got water in their house. They're happy it's clean. And they're just not very interested in what else is in their water until they start to dive in. And like I said, the internet's really helped with that.
So what kind of systems do you install? I've heard of Culligan. I've heard of a bunch of different type systems.
Sure.
What's your favorite?
So with our system, we're dealing with all American-made stuff. We're dealing with a company called Clack out of Wisconsin. Been in America, I think, since the late 40s. We deal with mostly American-made things. Everything we're putting out now is American-made. Got a 5-year warranty. It's quality equipment. There's good and bad everywhere. It's kind of like cars. Cheapest is not always best. Sometimes you pay a little bit more, but you're getting what you pay for.
You certainly, that's one lesson I've learned in life. Through having houses and cars, you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
So Is it expensive to put a whole water system in, or?
I don't believe so. I think it pays for itself, in my opinion, with the benefits you're going to reap from buying the system. Some people out here are a little higher than us. You know, there's all kinds of options. You can do your research. You can look around, see what you like. You know, there's people buying stuff on Amazon now. I say do whatever you can afford. Get you some kind of a filter. If you want something quality, you want something to last, give us a call. We can take care of you.
Okay, so you can come out and test people, put their system in according to their budget.
Absolutely.
I've looked at some of your stuff, and it's really not that expensive. I mean,
No,
it's
sir.
very reasonable. And you give service. I know your territory covers from Roanoke to Knoxville.
Yes, sir.
So you're all over the place.
We're everywhere, and you never know which way we're going to go. But we try to hit everybody. You know, there's 3 people and 13,000 plus customers, and we're growing every day. So
I don't see how you do it.
we just stay busy, stay after it. Yes, sir.
Well, I can't wait to test the water.
Yes, sir.
Any other words of wisdom? How good is water for you? How much should you drink?
As far as how much you drink as much as you can get in. I mean, you know, there's some big numbers out there, and I think it's the main thing is drink water. Drink some water in a day's time. You definitely, you know, when you wake up in the morning, it really, I feel like gets you going in the morning, get your metabolism going. So it's good to get hydrated first thing.
I like to put a little lemon water first thing I do in the morning. Make sure your stomach is balanced with the pH and everything.
Sure.
You never know if you have too much acid or not enough acid in your stomach. So that's something that I like to test for. But so it's really interesting about this water. You know, I always tell people they're probably not drinking enough water and they're probably not eating enough protein.
Absolutely.
Those are 2 things that we kind of fall short on. But water is so important across the world. We're lucky we live in this country. But we can do better.
Absolutely.
Because it makes a huge difference what kind of water you're drinking. I never really realized that until the past several years.
Yes, sir.
When I started digging into this thing, and there's so much of a difference. Sometimes you travel and you just cannot drink the water.
Yes, sir. And it's different everywhere. And, you know, the public water, a lot of it's got hardness in it. And that, you know, they, like I said, clean, clear, and safe, and that's the main thing, and they definitely take care of us on that. But the hardness is a problem even on public water for sure.
Okay. Well, Cody, I can't wait to test, and I'll give you guys some feedback on what we came up with. We need to test that water
Absolutely.
today.
I'm anxious.
I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait. I will print the results out after we get this. It's going to be really interesting.
Yes, sir.
And, thank you so much, Cody Warren. If you need to contact him, we're going to put his company's address on here, their website, etc. And thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
what
having
you do
me.
for people.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Advance our health by drinking clear, pure water and bathing in it too.
It means a lot. Yes, sir.
Well, thank you, Cody.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week.